and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and it's time for tip and trick number 38. So this was actually requested by Margaret, and it's in relation to the rings that we use in our books that we sell. So we've got the logbook, we've also got the book journal, and we've also got, that's not in here, it's in the storage in the conservatory, we've got a to-do list book, and then we have a few planners left for 2022 as well. But it's in relation to potentially changing the rings either to some bigger ones, which is what I'm going to do today, or maybe you want to be able to split up. If you have a lot in your logbook, you might want to split up so that your logbook entries stay in one book and your stash and other things stay in another book. There's a few different things you might want to do. So all my goodies stay inside one of the pouches. I actually keep all my spare logbook things. I also keep my completed stickers, and I'm sure that will end up with even more in there. I've also got my bookmark in there. They all stay in the pouch, but what I'm going to go do today is I'm going to change the rings on my logbook to the bigger ones to show you guys how. So with changing the rings, it's often easier to do it with the cover. So I suggest that you take the front cover and the back cover off the book that you want to change your rings on. Now, if you have decided to, say, purchase a second logbook and you want to split it that way, you may not be changing to bigger rings. And in that case, wait till the next step when I transfer these into here. And that's what you can do, because you'll have rings already on your cover. But if you hold both pieces of your logbook, and then what I do is I just tuck it into one side of the mushroom and then just let it flip into the next side. So into one side, curl it into one side. The paper does curl just a little bit, but enough that it goes back into position. So you can get your rings into each one. Yes, I have had lots of practice with this because I do assemble every single logbook that we sell. So all the rings are in there in both covers. And then if you open up your logbook so that it is flat and ready, and then for transferal, or indeed for adding maybe new inserts that you've got, I do suggest that you grab a few. I wouldn't say more than 6 or 7. Pull them off your old one, line them up on your new one, and then just push down one section at a time. They will wiggle a little bit more when it's emptier, but as it gets fuller, they won't wiggle as much. So I'm working from the back because I find it easier to push them in and flatten them this way. That is partly because I'm right-handed. That's probably too many. Let's do the logbook section, the rest of it. So I've got a few. How many have I actually got here? I've actually got 7 sheets here. You can, I'd say, up to about 10. You can do more, but it's often not as easy. And let me just show you what I actually did in closer detail when I did that one, because as I say, I'm used to doing these, so I do them automatically. So once I've lined it up, I'm actually using this finger to hold the ring in place as I push it down, and that stops it wiggling. And then I'm using a finger to hold it, just to hold it straight as I push down the inserts. So I use a couple of fingers to hold it straight, and I'm using my thumb and my forefinger to push it down. And you can just do that in wads. If you've bought extras to go into your book, you will find the likes of my stash, my wish list. You can add those in the full pack. So take the full pack out. I think any pack that we sell up to the price of £1.95, you can probably add them into your book in one full lot. If you have a pack that is £2.50, so is a bigger item, then that will probably need doing in 2 packs. And now I've got to a small amount left. I am just keeping my paper pretty flat, and I'm pulling out the mushroom in the same sort of way. Sorry, the disc. So I'm pushing it out of one side and letting it just drop out of the other side. So that's those out, and then to push these back in, line them up, using my fingers to keep the rings straight, and I just push them down. And that's how I do it when I'm doing one single piece. So if I decided to move this and put it somewhere else, I'm doing the same sort of thing. It's just a lot quicker with one, but you can use up to about 10 different pieces of paper to move over at one time when you're doing something like changing your rings to bigger ones. And that's a lot easier and a lot neater than trying to do the whole thing at once and trying to take out a whole ring and move in a whole ring. Because when you take out the ring, you need a little bit of give for the ring to come out. And if you've got too many pieces of paper, it's trying to, in effect, these pieces of paper here further back that you're trying to get out will force these further ones further forward to bend. But that now has my logbook with bigger rings, so that I can add loads more until it gets to the point of being too full. You can get quite a lot in there, and we do sell the bigger rings if anybody wants to upgrade the logbook, the to-do list or the book journal. They are available in the shop. Add more zest. The planner already comes with the bigger rings, just due to the amount that's in it. Where's my planner? So this one will still allow you to add more, but it is too small to go, too big, sorry, to go on the smaller rings in the first instance. It's a bit too much of a fight to be able to do it. And yeah, this system then allows you to mix and match. So you may decide to say that you want to split up your logbook and have different sections on different rings. But you also may find that you want your logbook to have some to-do list pages in that are relating to diamond painting, or you may decide that you want to have your wish list and move that into your planner, because you take your planner out and about with you, and therefore if you're shopping you can check your wish list for something. There's loads and loads of different options because we use the same system for them all. But that's my logbook moved over temporarily to a bigger one. I might move them back to the smaller ones. Depends on how full it ends up getting. I haven't finished with my logbook yet. There's another section of that coming this week. So I have my logbooks in square, and that is completed. So I keep these entries with the stash until I do them. I then have large, and that is all completed as well. So they're my large in square. What do I have after that? So now I have a lot in large in square. In round, do I have them all? No, I only have 2. So that's the section that I'm up to. I need to sort out my small round diamond paintings. So of course I'll be filling in a lot more entries in there. So I might leave the big book rings on there for now until I finish my logbook process. And then I can decide whether I want to split into a second logbook or whether I actually want to keep everything in one. So I'm going to put my spare rings in my pouch with all my other goodies. And once I've finished prepping my logbook, I can then make the decision. Because I can always add a little label here to have diamond painting logbook. And I can put, you know, stash and spares underneath with a little label, or I could, you know, completed for all my done logbook entries. But those decisions are to come later once I am up to date on this, which I'm getting there. But I hope that's helpful for you for changing the rings that you may or may not need to do. You can always, of course, do it in single pages, but I find just doing a few pages at a time makes it a little bit quicker, and it still keeps all the pages nice, ready for you to diamond paint your life away. And yeah, hopefully I'll get a few more added to the end of this, because my logbooks go in order. My completed goes in order. So I've got Mr. Quacker's Grinch Christmas. I need to finish that one off. Succulent Bowl, I've also finished that one. So yeah, I need to make sure that I update those as and when everything is done and dusted. I've cut the schematic off Mr. Quacker's. I might try and take a picture of him up on the wall, maybe, and add that in. But yeah, I've got a few more that I need to scribble a few little bits on. But I'll get updated eventually. Hopefully that was helpful, but thank you all so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.